Keys, aka Magnific Keys Comics feed. And yeah, in my last video I explained to guys that I was going to tell you how I came across a nice size collection, and in this video I plan to do so stay tuned and keep your ears glued. Let's do it. Hey guys, what's up? Marquise here, aka Magnific. In this video, I want to explain to you guys how I got the collection I got. I want to make it really brief. I don't want to stay on here too long and draw out this process. But I'm very excited to share with you guys how I came across the joint. Um, so we get started. Now, in my last video, I pointed out a book that was significant to the collection that I do have. Okay. And the way I came about this collection has a lot to do with the book. And I actually have the book right here in front of me. It is JLA 136. This book right here. Without any further long dragged out, let's just get started. So it was the summer of August of 2018, I think it was. I just started buying comic books, like getting back into it, right? I'm not gonna go back to my backstory when I first started and all that. We're just gonna touch on 2018 moving forward. So roughly 4 years ago, um, basically, I had this. I started buying books right off marketplace. You know, some guys had some auctions. This was relatively when it was very rarely anyone really, you know, getting the books. You know what I'm saying? It just started picking up steam, and I feel like there's a few guys who I could shout out right now, that were there, you know, doing these shows from the very beginning. So anyway, so I started buying it here and there, um, and then I started going to like little antique shops and things like that just to see what's up. You know, as I got on this journey, you know, the doors started opening up to other things. And but anyway, it was the summer of 2018. I posted some books for sale, right? And one of the books happened to be this book, but it was a CGC book, right? It was a CGC. I think it was a 9.6, if I'm correct. So this happened to have been encased in a CGC 9.6 grade. Um, and I've had I think it was Godzilla #1 and some other maybe two or three books that were I had like on it. Basically, the way I had these, I had it sitting up somewhere. You know, those were actually the more unbeknownst. Those were actually the only worth books that I've had since I got back into the hobby. It was this book that might have been a CGC and Godzilla #1 and maybe two or three other uh, relatively at that point the value of the other two books were relatively high, so it were like only 4 or 5 books that I could have had that were value wise. The rest were of value but not as significantly valued as the ones in this little group. Either or, let's move fast. So I posted it online for sale, not these books, but I posted a long box that I had accumulated for sale on Facebook Marketplace, and someone within my area saw that I had sale, and uh, by the time I posted the sale to having it, um, maybe like 3 or 4 people showed up to it. It was in an apartment, so it was kind of, you know, I was skeptical at even doing that. You know what I mean? Like usually people usually have garages where they open up their, and you know, no one comes into a person's personal space. But however, I didn't have that at a point in time. So I held a sale. It came. They came. People came. 4 guys came. A couple people go. They left. A few days go by. I saw one of the guys who came had posted something online. Like he was, I think he was having a sale or something. So it's kind of like how I meet people in the local community. I didn't know anyone yet, you know what I'm saying? This was me just coming back, especially where I live now. And I go over there. I said, well, I saw the guy say, hey man, you was just over at my spot. I didn't even know you had a bunch of books, you know what I mean? So I felt honored. You know what I mean? I felt like, wow, this guy have all of these, you know, books. Like he had like a ton of it, and he took the time out to come over to my place to check out my what one long box or two. Like that's crazy. So um so anyway um we spoke and he's like, what, you know, I say, well, you know, I'm just getting back in the same story I'm telling you, so I don't know, you know, just, you know, I didn't know even you had the sale, you know, having a sale. I just saw an ad up there, and so I came by, and here it is, you, the guy that came to my place to buy my books. So it's crazy. You know what I mean? What could I possibly have that you don't have within this? I mean, the guy had like at least maybe over, I'd say 40, maybe even 100 long boxes of books, whatever it was. And I was like, why would you even, you know, anyway. So I think I reached out to him on the sale. I asked him if when he's going to do another one and things like that on a direct message after a couple of days, and he said maybe next summer he does it once a year. So I said, hey, cool. A few days go by again. I saw a text from him on the Facebook message. He said, "Hey, I got a proposition for you." I say, well, he said, I like that book, which the CGC 9.6, this one of them, and the Godzilla and the other one. And he said, hey, if you want, meet me at my house and I can tell you what it is or something like in that nature. So I think I had to work that day, but I think we set up it for Saturday, I think on the weekend. So I drove over there on the weekend, midsummer August, and he brings me to his house. And he says, I want those books that you have, but I have a proposition, a once in a lifetime proposition for you. He said, if you, um, I'll take those books and I'll give you all of these boxes right here. So I'm like, what? So I looked down and it was like, I think it was like about 20 or 30 long box, short box, all kinds of stuff. I'm like, wow, what? You know, I wasn't even in the comics as much. Like, I didn't even know, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, okay. You know what I mean? Are you sure? I kept asking him, are you sure? Like, this book doesn't really have any value to it. Like, why would you want to give me? He told me, he said he'll get it back. I was like, wow, he'll get it back. Like, what do you mean you'll get it back? Like, he's like, don't worry. What I'm giving you, I'll replace them. Like, I'll assume not the actual books that he's giving me, but just to even amass them on the collection. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. So I was like, well, deal, I'll take it. You know what I mean? I was excited. I was like, yo, I'll take it. And so, you know, he started just start putting boxes in my vehicle. You know, then he put some in his, and we drove over to my place. You know, um, we put it up in my beautiful home, and yeah, that was it. I gracefully gave him the 9.6 JLA and um, Godzilla. Those only two books I can't remember, but I'm sure there were the other books were very as significant, but I can't remember what those are. And that was it, man. That was it. You know, so ever since that day, I just had a whole a collection that was, you know, and at this day, I'm still going through it and finding a lot of other stuff that I don't even, you know I had. So, you know, and I still haven't been to all of the books or whatever. Because again, like for me, I constantly work too, and this was in 2018. Imagine that. So I still haven't been through any of those boxes. I think I've been through like maybe about 10, maybe 15 of them. There's like maybe 8 or 9, maybe to go through them. I mean, some of them not even in long boxes. Some of them just are in like regular the boxes and things like that. So yeah, I would just have time for it. So anyway, I just thought I'd come on here and share that with you, and that's how I got back kind of into comics. But it was based on someone giving me a mass amount of it instead of me having to buy them one by one by one by one, just to amass a collection. And you know what? Since I'm on here, I want to say big shout out to that guy, man. His name is Sean. I don't know if he watches my video or anything, but I want to say I think he believed in me. He saw something in me, maybe that he probably saw when he was younger, and he decided that his stuff could go to a good home, and I always respect that guy for that. I appreciate you. Until this day, I still got all the stuff. Some of it I may have let go, some of it I keep, but it's relatively, the point of the matter is I'm grateful for that. And so, with that being said, I want to say thank you for tuning into my channel. Also, on the back end, I also want to say something as well before I go. I'm a fan, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of, comic book content creators. So when I give shout out and I'm mentioning people's name, it's not so I can ride people and to get a stone or steppings anywhere. I'm truly saying shout out to those guys because I follow them on my and respond and sometimes comments and talk to them. So I want to say shout out to Reggie Collect and Tom. Shout out to you too. I was watching your video the other day and I saw you mention on there this book right here, right? Thor 378. And I wanted to run, and I tried to find 377, but I couldn't find it, so I got the 378. And also Reggie, for you, shout out to you. I also got one of this joint right here. It's Battle of the Planets, you know what I'm saying, thing that you guys mentioned in the previous video. And I wanted to get the story to read, so I want to check it out. And shout out to you for putting me on to that, and Tom, shout out for you to that. Now, also did pick up this other book too that I saw on the same stream that Tom had mentioned. This book right here. I was able to get this book when no one was looking. Now, guys, you guys can't keep on mentioning books now, so I can run out there and grab every book you mention now. Okay, let's get that out the way. But I do listen, and only because I'm a fan of you guys, I try to snatch up what I can. So I thought this was cool. I also secured number 1 and number 2 because number 2 cover actually looks sick. It's horrible. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna probably show you that one on the next show. Yeah. So there you go. So and that's only because I do that because I'm a fan of those guys. Also, I was able this week, far as the comic shop, I picked up this joint right here, Hulk number 1. It has the homage cover. I want to find actually the Hulk number 1 homage cover, but the actual Hulk story within, the number 1 first Hulk ever. Anyone knows what's reprinted, Hulk number 1 reprint, that I can get the story, but also with a homage cover like this, you know what I'm saying? Let me know, leave a comment, and in the meantime, guys, I'll say keep grinding. Man, I gotta come up with a coin a term, when it comes to my video, man. I'm not sure, maybe I'll figure that one out, you know what I mean? But right now, we'll leave gracefully. That's all we could do right now. But in other words, you guys take care and be safe. Love.